A very good morning. It's the 14th of January. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's absolutely freezing and we're at Harwich International Port. We're here because probably in about 10-15 minutes time we're meeting a good friend of ours, Jörg, who's bringing over a car for us to have a look at. He's bringing over his MGC Roadster. It's a very special MGC Roadster. He's got lots and lots of goodies on it, but he's bringing it over for us today. The MGC we've got today is really special. It's not a standard MGC. As you know, from an MGB to an MGC, there's quite a few differences. But this one, obviously 3 litre straight 6, but it's got a Downton engine, triple Weber carburettors, and also we've been reliably informed it's 220 brake at the back wheels. Now, anybody who's had an MGC will know that this is a race engine in a car that wasn't designed to have a race engine, and we've been warned to be very careful because it's very light on the back. So we're now going to head back to the factory and we'll do some more updates there. We've picked the car up now from Jörg. He's obviously probably sleeping his way back to France on the ferry. The car is lovely. It's very responsive. The car has got a few little moans and groans at the moment, but we'll get rid of that. But certainly out on the open road, the engine, the triple carburettors, the overdrive unit, it's second to none. It really makes you feel like you're driving a high performance little classic sports car.
Oh, it does sound good, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. We're heading down to Mistley on the Suffolk-Essex border. The paint has come here, and as you can see to the right hand side now, we're heading along the coastal part, and then it gets into a really nice little village, Mistley, with a lovely Indian restaurant, and it's just one of these little sleepy places that probably very few people know about, but it is lovely. Suffolk is very heavily used for classic cars anyway. I mean, because we got so many picturesque villages. We got the Lavenhams of this world, and the Long Melfords and Sudbury and all around that area, Bury St Edmunds. I mean, it's very historic, and people come from miles around and holiday here.
How does she handle?
Beautiful, really nice. It's a pleasure to drive. The car, again, has got a nice story. You know, talking to Jörg this morning, that he saw this car in a broken down state with a gentleman trying to change the shock absorbers by the side of the road with limited tools. Jörg has got a workshop, so he offered, and he had at the time a blue MGC, so they had something in common straight away. He offered the facility of using his workshop. The guy came round, ended up snapping a bolt, which obviously wasn't too crucial, because he then drove back to Hamburg with the new shock absorber on, but with a broken bolt. And 27 years later, unfortunately, he died of cancer, and he left Jörg the MGC in his will, bequeathed it to him. And in fact, this car was used for taking Jörg's now wife, bride at the time, to the church, and also Roland, the guy's name. George took Roland's wife, bride at the time, to the church. So it's got some lovely history. I mean, it's been in Germany, although it's a British car and it's right-hand drive, it's been in Germany, you know, probably most of its life. And Jörg, I think it was a bit of an emotional goodbye for Jörg on this, because I didn't know any of this history when we started. Jörg's a customer of ours, and we've restored his Jensen 541s, and yes, he's a customer, but he's become a good friend over 4 or 5 years that we've been dealing with him. And he gave us first refusal of this car, and he just said it was time now to move it on. Jörg has got some grown-up sons, and I think one of the grown-up sons had his eye on it, but I think Jörg had decided that he needed to make the break and part with the car because of all the history it had with Roland.
Well, like that Jörg mentioned that it's only ever been treated to the highest grade of fuel. I think the car's really been lovely.
yeah. But that's a passover from a customer that loves it again, you know. I mean, whatever you do this, and whatever you do that, you know. The turn of speed is just superb, and the way it handles is superb. If this ends up as a competition car, then there's going to be one real lucky person. Just as a footnote, we're now passing Jimmy's Farm. Anybody that's familiar with the television programme Jimmy's Farm, this is now where Jimmy's Farm is. This is just on the outskirts of Ipswich. It's really accessible from the A14, which we're just about to come on to. Great for children. Lots of play areas, lots of things for adults, nice restaurants in there, but obviously it's really good for the animal side of it, animal welfare. Well worth a visit. We are now at the junction of the A14, and we'll be heading now towards Felixstowe for a little while. What I'll do is I'll bit of a turn of speed on the slip road, because everybody does that to join a motorway. Right, going down the slip road now. I can even put the hooter back in now I've got time, because that fell out in about the first 5 minutes, but I'll probably push it in, and then the hooter will come on it like that, and it won't stop. That's it. Oh well, good result. Another bit of maintenance done before we get home.
Rolling repairs,
yeah. That's another good thing with classic cars, really, isn't it? You know, if you want to go and do concours competitions, and that's what you're into, you can do that. And you got right the way down to people who just love the oily rag type motor, and you know, it doesn't matter if there's a big pool of oil under it.
And we see everything in our workshop.
We do see everything in our workshop, yeah. And then when you go out into these roads, and the country roads, you think to yourself, that's for me now what classic cars are all about. You know, to me it's not a joy driving a modern car on these roads, but it is a joy driving a classic car on these roads. You do have to remember skinny tyres. Skinny tyres and a big engine is not a good combination. I must admit, I thought it would be a lot more twitchy than what it is, and it is a bit.
George's warning as well.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a bit of a slippery morning. The ice and everything's gone, but it was definitely slippery underfoot when we were standing in the car park. Well, Freddie, that was worth getting up at 4:30 in the morning. That was brilliant. The car is great. It's lovely. It drives superb. It's going to be one of these ones. Are we thinking, what do we do with it?
You want to keep it now?
I do think I do want to keep it. It's my era. We're now back to base. We're just about to turn into Bridge Classic cars. But no, what an experience. And the torque, the engine, the sound, I think it's just cosmetic. You know, I don't think we're going to be sitting here finding anything that's too untoward. Here we are, we're back to base now, and I'm sure that all the technicians will hear it coming, and within about 5 minutes they'll all be gathered round, because we do like to see something new hitting our workshops. One last blast of that exhaust. And no run on either. Brilliant.